More lies.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Body Bags. I'm MikeyFish, and I'm your Friday host. Yeah, dudes. So today we're doing films that take us back, you know, like nostalgic films for us personally. There's a lot, man. There's a lot, but really, I didn't think about it too hard actually. But if I do think about it, usually the first one that comes to my head. Unless I'm thinking of like movie stores and stuff, which I'm not this time. I'm just thinking of like nostalgic when I was a kid. But like with films from like movie stores and stuff, like there's a lot of movies that like come to mind. You know what I mean? So like Hollywood Video and stuff like that. Like a lot of movies that just like pop up on the shelves that I can remember it. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna go with a movie that I watched when I was a kid. That used to terrify me actually, but really good flick, man. And that is Ernest Scared Stupid. Yeah, dudes. Ernest Scared Stupid is, man, let me just tell you about Ernest Scared Stupid. So, everyone knows the Ernest movies, you know, Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Goes to Jail, all that stuff. Slam Dunk Ernest, if you ever saw that one, trash, but still, there's a lot of them. There's a ton of these movies, and, they all star Jim Varney as Ernest, and he's like this, like, really, cartoonish character. You know, he's very loud. He also does the voice for like Slinky Dog in Toy Story, or at least the original one. He died, so I don't remember when he stopped playing him. But yeah, he played the voice of Slinky Dog. Yeah, so it's very slapstick, you know, stuff like that. All of his movies are or tend to be. But yeah, they're all a lot of fun and stuff. So this movie right here actually seems to be made a lot better than those, or at least in my eyes it does. Yeah, so a little bit about this movie is Jim Varney, his character, it shows his family line from way before, and it starts off with this troll chasing this child. They put the troll on the ground, and one of his ancestors puts a spell or curse. No. He puts him in the ground, and the troll puts a curse on his family, saying that his family will just get dumber and dumber as generations go on. And now we're to present day, well, at least back in like the 90s. And now it's to Mr. Ernest, and he is an idiot. And so basically, that's what happens there. And he's like friends with these kids from the town, and the kids get bullied. They decide to make a tree fort to stay away from the bullies' higher grounds and stuff. And it just so happens to be the tree that they planted over the troll when they buried him. And he ends up saying the entire spell, just so happened to say the entire spell to bring the troll back. And so now the troll's back, terrorizing all the kids, turns all the kids into little wooden dolls, which is terrifying. And yeah, that's pretty much your story. Now they have to figure out how to beat these trolls. Yeah. And as the troll gets more wooden dolls, he puts them in the tree, and it makes them grow stronger. Yeah. That's pretty much your story to Ernest Scared Stupid. My thoughts on this film. Ernest Scared Stupid, if you watched it as a kid, this movie is really scary. Like, as a child, this is scary. Like, because he's literally turning kids your age into wooden dolls. And, like, that's fucking terrifying, man. There's a scene where this kid is running and he falls into this mud pit and he can't get out. He's, like, trying. It's, like, slipping everywhere. And then you hear Ernest's voice saying, "Oh, I got you." And the kid's like, "Oh, thank God," you know. And he, like, grabs his hand and then looks up, and it's the fucking troll. And it turns the kid into a doll. And it's fucking scary, dude. Like, that's terrifying when you think about it. And, yeah, dude, like, fuck that. Also, this movie, he gets a bunch of trolls to, like, grow out of the tree and stuff. And all the trolls, I'm pretty sure, I think I've heard it, and it makes a lot of sense. The troll costumes were actually made by the same guy that did the costumes in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And I think some of the trolls, like, are the exact same, like, replicas, just without the clown makeup on them. Like, they look a lot like it, so pretty sure that's what it is. They figure out how to kill him, and it's really gross. This is such a fun movie. That's the thing. Like, this movie you can watch anytime. I watch this movie every year for Halloween, or at least around Halloween time. And it's just a blast, man. It really is just such a good time. Jim Varney he is a comedic genius. I don't think he gets enough credit because his movies were kind of trash. But if it was like a bigger budget, this guy would have done something. He would. I feel like he would have gone down in history. I mean, he does for like a cult classic. You know, like everyone, like a lot of people like him. You know what I mean? But I feel like he could have been even bigger. You know, he's definitely like inspired by like Charlie Chaplin and stuff like that. Just a very he's very physical comedy. You know what I mean? And he does a great job at it. He has like a little rubber face. You can just like move his face around really weird, and he's just so much fun. And it really brings this movie out, and just being, it's just a great film, man. And a lot of people don't love this film, but it's usually people that are older than me that don't love this film. If you watched this movie as a kid, it's fantastic. If you didn't, if you watch it like way later in your years, I can see why you don't care for it. But the movie itself, you got to give it credit. Like it's shot really well. Like, I mean, it's not shot the best, but it's shot really well. There's a scene in this movie where they're going through this woman's yard, and it's just like cluttered and shit, and just you can see that's like a crane shot, and it looks fucking great. Like, it's just, and that yard is creepy too, man. It's just like all this welded shit with like barrels with fire coming out. It's so sick, dude. This movie's amazing. Definitely check out Ernest Scared Stupid if you haven't before, especially for like Halloween time and whatnot. I actually want to get that tattooed on me. I don't know if I ever will. Just that cover's so sick. I might do it. Who knows, man? Who knows? It's hard for me to rate Ernest Scared Stupid because I'm, you know, it's nostalgic. I'm very biased with it, but I love this movie. And I do believe that it's something, you know, I think the movie's great, especially if you have kids or something. Definitely watch that movie with them. It definitely is a good movie to like break kids into horror. You know what I mean? Because it did it for me. Yeah, if I had to rate it, man, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. And I know most people wouldn't do that, but I would. I love this movie to death. Real quick, a nostalgic scene for me was when I was a kid, and the kids decide they're gonna beat these trolls, and they get in this little gang, and they do the whole little bike rides and stuff. And there's one kid that I always wanted to be. I was like, man, I'm gonna be that kid. And it was one of the kids that had barely even talked in the movie. He was just in that scene, and he dresses like a little skeleton. And for some reason, when I was a kid, I thought the skeleton kids, like during Halloween and stuff, those were the cool kids right there. And so I wanted to be the skeleton kid. Yeah, I don't know. That's just a nostalgic memory for me, or just a memory that I have. Yeah. So, anyways, Ernest Scared Stupid, 9 out of 10. Definitely check it out, especially if you have kids. Anyways, guys, I'm MikeyFish, and I'll see you next Friday. Later, dudes.